Hello YouTube! Welcome to the first part of my starting from level 1 in GTA Online series. The goal for this video is to reach 2.2 million GTA dollars and buy the Kosatka, which even post-nerf, is still an excellent moneymaker. Let's get started with choosing your criminal career. There are 4 options to choose from. Select the nightclub option from the choices. Now it's time to pick the location. Choose the Del Perro location for 1.645 million. Next, select the upgrade package for the nightclub. Choose Omega for 563,000. Now, let's get some vehicles for your character. Purchase the armored Kuruma for 698,250. The Vapid Speedo Custom comes free with the nightclub. Buying the following weapons will get you over the amount you need to spend to start the game. Special Carbine for 14,750. Machine Pistol for 6,250. Heavy Shotgun for 13,550. Marksman Rifle for 15,750. And finally, Grenade Launcher for 45,000. Once all that is purchased, you can review the expenses in the summary. This was as close as I could get the minimum 3 million spend required to start the first career. With that initial selection of items out of the way, now Julius V can arrive to the game after completing the character creation menus. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on him, using mostly default options. In the stats section of the menus, be sure to set the stamina and strength bars to their maximum levels, then spend any leftover points as you see fit. Time to head out to Los Santos. Once you exit the police station, go to your phone and call the mechanic to bring you your armored Kuruma. Drive it over to Davis, and pick up the weapons located under the stairs. Take out the balas near where the weapons were, then head over to the nightclub. Let's begin the money making by setting up the nightclub. When you arrive at the location, park in the front near the street entrance. Putting the car in the garage before the cutscene completes is not recommended for the following reason. After sitting through the long cutscene, you will be stuck in the nightclub and unable to do anything. I ended up quitting out of the game, and having to restart from walking out of the police station. So with that out of the way, now we can start the setup missions. Start with the nightclub staff setup mission. This is a simple mission, just pick up 3 employees for your nightclub in Tony's car. I like to run them in this order as it forms a bit of a loop, and the final pickup of Connie is closest to the nightclub. Once you complete the first nightclub setup mission, the lobby you are in will turn into a public lobby. Set your spawn point to the nightclub, start the next mission, and once outside, switch to an invite-only session. Next, start the nightclub equipment setup mission. You will be sent to a location in Blaine County to pick up the festival party bus. The goal is to get it back to the club with as little damage as possible done to the equipment. So, try not to do this. Or this. This NPC gave chase for a very long time. I'm still not sure how it got back to the club intact after those crashes. The final nightclub setup mission is to pick up the DJ. You will be sent to LSIA to pick up Solomon. Except his plane isn't landing there. And, instead, you will be redirected to Sandy Shores Airfield. Follow his plane, then deliver him back to the club. After another cutscene, you will have successfully completed your nightclub setup missions. Now that the club is up and running, let's discuss the mostly passive income stream it provides with the easy Marcel popularity missions, the reason that Nightclub was selected over the other three options at the beginning. Human icon popularity missions. Immediately upon finish of the nightclub setup, Marcel will contact you to do one of two things. The type of mission will depend on the shape of the icon on the minimap. Since you're still SecuroServe, this will most likely be a driving mission indicated by a blue person icon. If the icon is a blue dot, it will be a bouncer-type mission inside the club. The dot-type missions are much faster to complete and pay about the same as driving ones. In the future, go passive mode prior to entering Nightclub to most likely get the dot icon. Run them every 2 GTA days, to keep Nightclub popularity at maximum. At this early stage, the money made from these missions adds up very quickly. The payout for the driving missions is 10 to 12,000, depending on time spent in mission. As there are faster ways to make money, if you get a driving mission, finish it as quickly as possible and move on to another activity. Including the 50,000 per GTA day received from keeping Nightclub popularity up, that's 110,000 for every 96 minutes of play, with very minimal effort and no additional investment required. By choosing the Omega Nightclub package, that came with the staff upgrade, which helps to keep the club popular for longer. This mission was completed in less than 2 minutes. Now, let's look at the dot icon mission. If you spawn into your nightclub, immediately go into passive mode. Exit out the garage area and zone back into the nightclub. Once you reach the stairs heading to the office, if it's been more than 48 real-life minutes, a popularity mission icon will appear, along with a message from Marcel. When you're in passive mode, it's almost guaranteed that it will be a dot icon mission. And even if it's not, you should be playing in an invite-only or friend session, so there is no one to grief you and stop your grind. To show how quick these dot missions really are, this part of the video is playing at 1x speed. It is just so easy and pays so well, always worth completing as part of the mission rotation, to keep Nightclub popularity at the maximum. Money-making Part 2. Auto Shop Contracts. Of all the things to do within GTA, why do auto shop contracts? It may seem a bit strange at first, but for a low-level character, playing solo, this is, in my opinion, The most productive method to rapidly gain money without having to purchase pretty much anything else, but more on that later. At this point of the video, I'm only level 6, therefore my weapons and health are not really all that great, which is quite apparent once I leave the relative safety of the armored Kuruma. In not wanting to spend a lot of GTA dollars as my goal is to buy the Kosatka, these missions are a solid choice. I'm not using my own ammo, and the payouts per minute played are excellent, when restarts and mission failures are limited. With these missions, you're making 50 to 65,000 for about 15 minutes of mission time per contract on average, and sometimes you'll get a CEO associate bonus of 10,000 on top of that as well. If you completed 3 jobs in an hour, that's a minimum of 150,000, or 2,500 GTA dollars per minute played. Unless some other type of mission is on double or greater, these are week over week the fastest gains for a low-level player, not only in GTA dollars, but also in terms of reputation, also known as level. Additionally, the queue times are quite fast in general, which helps to keep the money flowing in. In the time it took you to read or listen to this, a contract is about ready to start. After buying the Kosatka, the auto shop will be the next purchase for Julius V, as it quickly pays for itself, especially when it's on discount. With these auto shop contracts, there are some to leave before they start as a low level. Primarily the superdollar and ECU jobs, because they are more trouble than they're worth, as the time it takes to stop the vehicles is too dependent on loadout and being without some mission-specific vehicles to assist in shortening the played time, namely the Toreador. The data contract can also be rough if a poor loadout selection is chosen. Looking at you, heavyweight. Another useful feature of these missions is that only one person has to be alive at the finish point, and everyone gets paid what they normally would whether they died or not. For some missions such as the bank job and union depository, those who cannot escape their wanted level should be encouraged to just stop and let the law end them, as to finish sooner, take the money and move on to the next one. While that may sound a bit harsh, the greater the time you spend in a single mission lowers your overall earnings per hour. When you explain this to a player who's just driving around pointlessly unable to escape their wanted level, most of the time they understand that you're not being mean, just trying to get paid like they are. Other times you might run into a language barrier, and then emojis can usually convey the intent. Skull, prayer hands, money, thumbs up, smile, wink. The missions really do become quite easy and formulaic once you run them enough times. A good example is the location for the recipe in the agency contract. Search area has 4 or 5 locations where it can be, so it helps reduce the time when you know where to start checking. I left this out of the video, but you might want to buy a Los Santos Car Meet membership before beginning the auto shop contract grind, to maximize the reputation gains from the activity. By using the 2 parts of these money-making methods in conjunction, one mostly passive, and one active, you will find that it is quite easy to make money in this game. Next, we're going to look at survivability in these missions. You are going to need snacks and body armor. The ammunition is nearby the Del Perro nightclub, and even at low levels, you can still purchase the super heavy armor, a very nice change from previous times. Be sure to max out the super heavy armor with 10 copies. This is a small expenditure that pays big dividends in the auto shop contracts, keeping you alive to help complete missions and keep the GTA dollars per hour pouring in. Then head to a place that has snacks to refill your supply. Markets will sell them, and they are not very expensive to purchase, as shown here. If you are really about saving as many GTA dollars as possible, you can get free snacks at the Premium Deluxe Auto Simeon dealership. Though for me, the time taken to drive there is usually not worth the effort, unless I've used more snacks than what a store would sell me on the previous mission. So, when I mentioned purchasing something to help with the auto shop contracts, it was this. An apartment located in the middle of the city for 235,000, where you can keep the armored Kuruma to use for missions when you are able to access an apartment garage. It really helps with survivability on them. This map shows the location of the auto shops and where this apartment is relative to them. It has very easy highway access to get you on the road fast and heading towards your destination, regardless of which mission you are doing. As I mentioned before, there are some missions I'd rather not do, but if I was going to attempt them, having the Kuruma could be the difference between pass and fail. These are the missions that you can use the Kuruma stored in the garage for. If you use the Kuruma as your in-game vehicle, it will not appear in the garage when you arrive there to get it. Here is how to solve that problem. Using the free penumbra given to you from the Del Perro heist apartment, get into that vehicle and exit the garage. Then once outside, go back into the garage, and now the Kuruma will appear for use in the mission. My other minor expense outside of consumables in the apartment was to make the Kuruma look a little better by respraying it. Since it is my workhorse and the vehicle I spend the most time in, this was a justified expense in my opinion. After 9 hours and 12 minutes of in-game playtime, I had made enough to purchase the Kosatka. The initial $1,201,500 I needed became $1,438,700, when factoring in the cost of the apartment and the Kuruma paint job. If you were to include the costs of body armor and snacks, the amount total earned in this time was $1,488,919, when taking the overall income and subtracting the $998,500 from this amount shown. This equates to 2,697 GTA dollars made per minute played over the duration of this period, all done without any heists. If you made it this far, I thank you for your time in watching this video. It was made with the intent to help a new player in GTA Online get to a place where they can begin really making a lot of money quickly. I can't stress enough that even with the recent payout reductions on the Cayo Perico heist, owning the submarine and running the heist with a friend is still an incredibly fast way to make legit money in GTA, even if you don't take the 85% cut. I do not encourage solo play for the most part, but wanted to show that even starting as a level 1, with no help, it is possible to do quite well for yourself in a short period using these strategies. There will be additional videos in this series about the Cayo Perico heist and furthering the passive income generation from other businesses in Los Santos. This is what the Get Rich Gang is all about. Minting new GTA empires one member at a time. Until next time, be well. By the way, I'm actually not some AI bot, but I'm using these voiceovers since it's easier for me than recording my own voice, due to a number of factors truly beyond my control. Loud-ass barking dogs, random fireworks, and a mic that is mid at best. Real talk.